So it's time to find out if cheaper means lower quality. Hi everyone, as the intro suggests, today we're going to find out if cheaper does actually mean lower quality. I have this Notre Dame 3D puzzle with 39 pieces that I got off eBay for £3. So basically free compared to a lot of other 3D puzzles. And if you follow my Instagram, you will know I love me some 3D puzzles. Because I'm currently partway through doing the Red Keep from Game of Thrones, and I've done a number of other 3D puzzles. Ooh, focus going in and out and in and out and in and out. Always fun when it does that. So, let's have a look at what we've got here. And we'll see how it compares. Okay, I've switched to my phone at this point because it's a lot easier to get it into focus. So we've got the name Puzzle Magic up top, Notre Dame de Paris. And develop logical thinking, strategic planning, visual and spatial. I don't really get how it's supposed to help with logical thinking and planning when it has instructions. They reckon 15 to 30 minutes to complete. Complexity 2 out of, what was it, 7? Yeah, 2 out of 7. Model size 15.5 centimeters by 7 by 11, so not huge. Easy. Oh yeah, how the ones I always go for is have this. Easy to assemble, no scissors or glue required. On the back, got a little factoid about Notre Dame. I didn't know it was quite that old, 1163. And the instructions, which could be really annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So, straight off the bat, I can tell you, I'm not a fan of the instructions. Okay, so on to the pieces themselves. They seem pretty standard. Got the classic card with foam in between, which isn't showing the greatest. Oh well, take my word for it. All the pieces are numbered as well. And at a quick glance, it seems to be fairly easy to work out which piece goes with which number. Always helpful. But it shouldn't be too bad. I need to go find some scissors to pop out all these bits. Because quite often that's the most time consuming, just dealing with them. But with there only being a few pieces, it won't take too long. Okay, so I'll grab my scissors and then we'll get cracking. I've got our instructions. Let's see how we go. Start off with piece 25. Let's just raise that a little bit. Go. So I'm just going to pop out all these little tabs from the piece before I do anything else with it. So I'm not actually noticing a lot of difference between this and the cubic span, which is what this is the closest to. Okay, so piece 37 goes into the middle, which is this one. Oh yeah, this actually wasn't my original plan for what I was going to do today. But my computer's been annoying, so... Well, to give my computer its due, I have a bad habit of leaving it on more than I should. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a vacay. So that helps it feel a bit better. These fiddly little ones. You've got to be careful you don't apply too much pressure when you push it down, or else you will break it. Even on the more well-known brands. Okay, so that's the first two pieces together. Next. Should I do this back bit? Because it looks complicated. And just get it out of the way. So, I need 38. It goes there. Ooh, which way around do I want that? Yeah, it looks like that is the way around I want it. Okay, then I'm going to need 22, which is this one. The classic thing that I hate about these puzzles, all these little bits that you get everywhere. I should really clean up as I go, but I don't. Oh no, yeah, that will go that way. Because of reasons. And of course that's now come off. I wonder. There we go. I'm starting to understand the logic and strategy that they were talking about. Because as the instructions are not the best, you are having to think just a little bit harder. So I need 31, 35 and 36. So here's 31, 36, and there is 35. It's more pokey time. And you may hear my cat running around in the background. So 35 goes in here. Sort of like that, I'm assuming. goes there. And then do a bit of magical jiggery pokery, and hopefully everything all fits. So it goes in there like that, like that. Ah, no, I got them the wrong way around. My assumption was wrong. How does that saying in management go? To assume makes asses of us all. God knows I've fallen prey to that one. It's amazing how often when you assume that someone will just do the job, they don't. And then as the person in charge, you're the one who ends up in trouble. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not the one who's being lazy. I shouldn't have to micromanage. Sadly, some people require it. Which is great, because it just makes extra work. Okay, so that's that tricky section done. Oh, what? It's not bad detail on here. Wow. We'll just get that to focus. Come on. There you go. Not bad, is it? Okay, so let's do these side bits. So we're going to want 34 first of all. More stabby stabby. And that goes in down here. It's down there, isn't it? Here it is down there. There we go. That's side done. And then we'll go all the way around, so 24. I've been pushing these out the wrong way because you want to lift it up. So then if it rips, it'll rip on the inside. It does happen occasionally. If you're like me and you're aware of the concept of being gentle, never really put it into practice. And if you heard that, that was my little boy. Okay. Still really liking the look of this. It's a bit unfair how you don't see 3D puzzles represented that much. I do appreciate they are, well, they can be quite expensive, and a lot of the time you really don't want to take them apart, or if you do, they end up getting damaged. They don't come apart well. Okay, it's all around the outside done. But I do think that there is a lot of value to them. I just think they're beautiful, they're fun. Again, I'm pushing myself the wrong way. Quite often they look a lot harder than they actually are. just supposed to stand there? I'm hoping that's just supposed to stand there because there's no hole. That's quite a line. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. Yeah, the door and the arch aren't quite aligned. But it might get better once I put more pieces in. Okay, number 30. As much as I do love my 3D puzzles, I must admit it is a bit annoying finding a home for them once you finish them. Number 28 next. Oh, this is going to require a lower stabby. And I push it through the wrong way again. Yay, genius me. This is what happens when the little demons don't let you sleep. Demons, also known as my children. They've been extra tired the past couple of days because my dad has gone back home after staying for a couple of weeks. They do not like having to share me. They are both missing the one-on-one. They definitely prefer 2 adults as opposed to 1. And they're making sure that I'm very aware of this fact. It's like, dude, the volume that you're at, even the dead are aware of it. It's like helping go, shh. Slightly regretting my choice of order here. If I take this one off. Just like that. Oh, it does fold out. Okay. I'll just pop this back. I've got to display one thing that I don't like about the foam 3D puzzles. For focus. Look here. Foam is separating from the card, which is a little annoying. It's not too bad, but it is doing it. It does happen, sadly, with this style. Okay, so 21. Yeah, before I just put this video up, I should really Google what Notre Dame actually looks like today. Because religious or not, it's still sad to see that much history go up in smoke. Quite literally. So that's quite a nice little touch. If it'll focus. Come on. There we go. The base has got 2 pegs in it. This steeple, spear, whatever you want to put. Quite often you'll just get 1 post to put in. So this, in theory, should be more secure than a fair few of them are. If it will go in. There we go, got it. Get there nicely. Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but when I think Notre Dame, I think that round window there. Because of the Disney film. Okay, I think that is all of part A done. I've got time to work on part B. Just all of these fun little posts. At least it would appear that to a degree they go in number order. Yes, I'm right in assuming there goes something like that. You know, in a way, it'd be quite fun to, like, you know, if you had access to a TARDIS. Oh, this bit's not wanting to come off. No, ignore the fact that TARDIS aren't real. But let's just pretend for a second they are. Wouldn't it be funny if you had access to a TARDIS? You could go back in time, find the architect for Notre Dame, and show them this model and see what they think. Particularly if you, like, told them how far in the future it was that you made it, how much it would blow their mind. You'd imagine that they probably built it thinking it would last forever, but certainly quite a thing to imagine it being around so long after. The little boy stirring. Hopefully he'll stay asleep till I finish this, because selfish as it might sound, quite nice to do this all in one go, because I haven't set a timer. So it'd be nice to know without having to look back at the footage how long this took. Currently on 20 minutes, but I'm going slow, if I'm being honest. What did they say on the front? 15 to 30? Because I'm talking, not. The camera stopped. But yeah, as I was saying, I have been stopping to show what I've been doing, so I have not been going at the best of speeds. I discovered some little tabs I forgot to push out because I didn't notice them. I'm being perfectly honest, I didn't. Okay, that's all the pieces off that board. Hold on. So 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. Oh, they're both 19, are they? Okay. Threw me for a second. Go in. Seventeen. Almost done. Now, I think it's safe to say this is the smallest 3D one I've done, at least the foam style, because I have done wooden ones. And I have done ones that had a low piece count like this and a low size like this. May get some again because they were fun to do. Every thing's occasionally got splinters. And sometimes, even though they are supposed to be, no, they're not supposed to need gluing. I did this owl one once and some of its feathers would keep falling off, which is really annoying. Okay, big moment here. Done. Okay, so you've just seen it done in its entirety. I mean, yeah, I probably edited out this one having a little cry. This one who is now grabbing Notre Dame. Yeah, what do you think? Is this where you steal the show? Eh? Is this where you steal the show? Oh, poor little thing woke up and had a bit of a whinge. Is that you up there? Can you see you up there? Yeah. yeah, as you see, it was fairly easy to put together, reasonably quick, did less than 30 minutes, which I am happy about. Could even be less than 20, which take out different editing. Sorry, tired brain. No, if you take out like me showing and going through stuff. So I'm fairly happy with how long that took. And considering that it only cost me £3, that does seem like a good trade-off between time spent doing it and cash I got for it. You're making funny noises. The doors inside still don't fit that great. That's fine. I will just notice that's a bit wonky. There you go. It's a bit straighter. So, to be honest, for the most part, I'd say this was actually fairly interchangeable with the more expensive brands. Can you let go of them scissors, please? Thank you. I have enough anxiety without you playing with pointy things. Yeah, if you hadn't told me that this was a cheaper brand, I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell, but it's small. This is teeny tiny, which does also have a benefit. Because like the Empire State Building one that I've done, that's at least 2 foot, if not more. This is nice and teeny tiny and compact. So it's not going to take up space. You could do a lot of them and still have loads of shelf space. But of course, a small model, smaller pieces, which does have its own challenges. I think that the picture detail is fairly good. Can't really grumble. The card has come loose from the phone in a fair few places, but really only at the pointy areas where you'd most expect it. And of course, like all foam ones, the thing that always drives me slightly insane is, come on, focus, those plain exposed bits of foam. I hate it. It annoys me every time with these. But as long as, for the most part, the rest of it is really nice, you can overlook it. Would I recommend this to anyone else? Yes. If I'm being perfectly honest, I was ready to be disappointed. My biggest gripe with this is the instructions on the back. As I've already mentioned, I'm not a fan of those instructions. They were actually easier to follow than I was expecting. But looking at them, you could very easily become overwhelmed. You could very easily become overwhelmed and just disinterested and be like, nope, not doing it. And then the stuff that you would have enjoyed doing, you didn't. Then potentially that's a wasted gift. Or, yeah, potentially a wasted gift, a wasted little treat. To a degree, I would like it if it was bigger, the model itself. But of course, the compactness does have its own charms. But I really was ready to be very disappointed with it, given the fact that it's cheap. To be honest, I was also half expecting it to not turn up. You know, some random shop on eBay. I would not have been too surprised if it hadn't turned up, but it did. And it's exactly what it says. It's held up well to me not being overly gentle with it, because I don't do gentle. No, I'm actually genuinely trying to think of like bad things, because you don't want to hear a review that's just full of praise. But for what it is, I think it's very good. This is brilliant for someone who hasn't done a puzzle before, a 3D puzzle like this before. It's a good little introduction. It's neither too big nor too expensive. Again, the instructions are a bit annoying. Yeah. Wonder whereabouts Quasimodo's hiding. But yeah, they do a few others in this series. I went deliberately for like one of the cheaper ones, because as I say, I wasn't really expecting much. I really was ready to, if it ever turned up, to not be impressed. To be honest, that's probably why I'm finding it hard to like have a dampener, because it is better than I was expecting. I am so happy with it. But like, it'll even fit on this little ridge that I got going around the side of my sofa bed. That is awesome. And I know that Cubics Fun does Notre Dame. Okay, Ravenberger 3D puzzle Notre Dame. Yes, they do one for basically £35 on Amazon. It looks good. It does look good. I might have to get it. If I'm being brutally honest, I genuinely might have to get it. You know, research. I need to compare. Right, look, Mum, got to compare. The Ravensburg one, if I'm being perfectly honest, it actually looks quite different to this. Still cool though. Both of them. They both have their charms. I can imagine that the Ravensburg one could actually be a real pain in the patootie. When you're the pain in the patootie? Eh? Do you even know what a patootie is? No. So, as it is now fastly approaching 1 o'clock in the morning, I think I need to get this little man to go to sleep. Hide Notre Dame before he eats it. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know, what did you think of this? I will put a link in the description to the shop. Has this made you more interested to give one a go? Have you already done a 3D puzzle like this before? Would you like to see more of them? And of course, don't forget, the more likes I get, the faster my kids can go to Disneyland. Don't know if I'm going to leave that in. So yeah, happy puzzling everyone, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.